It's one of the most common questions that I get when I do live Q&As. What kinds of poi do I use? Well, the short answer is a lot. Drex here from DrexFactor.com, and today I'm actually going to take you guys through the most common sets of poi that I use in my everyday life. Be sure to sign up for my notification squad by clicking on the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you know exactly when I drop a new video. Before we dive in, I just want to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Darkmonk, Flowtoys, LMF Props, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can visit them all by following the links down in the description of this video. So this question comes up a lot when The cat is going to bust my balls today. So this question comes up a lot when I do live Q&As. People are super curious about the poi that I like to use. And quite frankly, the rules around what poi I like to use are generally governed by two things: simplicity and utility. Yes, I know, I'm right in the middle of your favorite place to play, and I'm sorry. So basically, I've divided up the poi that I use here into 4 different categories. I've got my practice poi, LED, fire, and then a whole division that is just reserved for those poi that I use for professional purposes. What are those purposes? Well, we'll get into that in a second. To start off, we're going to talk about practice poi. Now, these are a set of contact poi that are made using parts from LanternSmith. These are the Emoji contact heads, as well as their smithy rope, and of course, their palm grips handles. And these have been my primary practice at poi now for, I think, a little over 3 years. And what's super impressive about that is, you know, while these have definitely been through their share of abuse, the rope is actually in really, really good shape. And aside from fading a little bit because of exposure to UV light, the heads are still in fantastic condition. So some of the things that I truly love about these are, number one, all of the components are incredibly durable. These things have seen so much abuse from me, and they're in almost as good a condition as the day I bought them. For another, I really love the fact that the capsules that go inside of these emoji heads right here also are weight adjustable. I have them on the smallest weight setting that you can have, only one of these little brass weights here, but I've done as many as I think 3 in here, and I've just found that this is the best weight for me. Being able to tune the weight inside of your contact poi is a really, really surprisingly useful thing to have. Cool, so next up, my primary set of LED poi right now. These are, of course, ePoi Light from Emazing Lights. Now, this is kind of an interesting case because I also have a set of the ePoi, the full ones that are not the lights, that have the limited programming set and everything. And for some reason, the full-on ePoi didn't strike me as much as the ePoi Light did, and I'm still not exactly sure why that is. It could be that because the programming interface is a little bit less robust, I have an easier time navigating the modes, or maybe it's just the right prop at the right time. To be honest with you, these and my LanternSmith contact poi are pretty much the only 2 sets of poi that travel with me wherever I go and always have a home in my backpack. I'm also using the Gemini handles from Light Vibes with the ePoi because I find that they're a pretty good match for each other, both in terms of the colors that they can produce as well as the brightness. I also like the big form factor of the lights. They're super visible. And to be honest with you too, like, because these are only about 50 or 60 bucks, the threshold of something bad happening to them is pretty low compared to most other sets of poi that I have. Next up, we are going to talk about fire poi. Now, these are a set of fire poi from Darkmonk. I am using Technora tethers with ultra knob handles, and the heads themselves, I believe these are 3.5-inch Novas. I really, really love these heads, mainly because they are so wonderfully fuel absorbent. In the entire time that I've had these, and I think I've had these now for roughly about 1.5 years, every time I've gone to dip them and then spin them out, I don't think I've ever gotten more than 1 or 2 drops of fuel out of them. I also have 3 inches of hardware in between the head and the tether because I want my tether to last, and so far so good. If you guys out there are playing around with Technora, I highly recommend this. I know a lot of people prefer to have the direct connection, but I've seen Technora fails, and I don't want to have that happen to me. Another fun little detail about these is the wick covers that I use. Now, these are drawstring wick cozies that were made by Jennifer Swanson at Kindlet. And these were actually prototypes that she developed and then never brought to market. I think there are something like maybe 8 to 10 of these in existence, and I have 1 pair. And nobody is taking them away from me. These are coming out of my cold, dead hands, all right? So, moving on. These are the 3 sets of poi that I use primarily for recreational purposes. Of course, like, I use the fire poi for professional gigs and everything too, but then these are the poi that I only use for professional reasons. So what counts as a professional reason? Well, let's start off by talking about my first set of professional poi, and I think you'll start to get an idea. So these are pod poi, right? I don't actually use these for gigs, but if you've seen any of the tutorial videos that I have done in the past year, then you have seen these. The reason being, these are my primary set of poi for recording videos. They have the Pods 2.0 in them, so they're super bright. And I have installed fatty flow cord in them too. The primary reason for this was that I started doing some experiments with backdrops several months ago, and what I was discovering was that the flow cord, the normal skinny cords that are attached to pod poi and everything, just kind of disappeared against the backdrops, whereas the fatty flow cord still shows up just fine. Now, ironically enough, that wasn't actually a problem for shooting videos, but it was a huge problem for creating thumbnails for my videos. Namely that as you're watching the poi spin, your brain can kind of connect the dots and everything, and know that there's supposed to be a tether there as the poi's moving around your hand. On the other hand, when you just have a still image, if there's no tether visible, that is plain as day. So there wound up being a lot of good reasons to use fatty flow cord, and quite frankly, because of it, this is a set of poi that basically never leaves my house, because if anything happens to it, then I'm kind of up a creek about shooting more videos. And moving on, I have a set of contact poi that I use exclusively for gigs. What's the difference between these and the LanternSmith poi? Well, this is actually a set of poi that got made accidentally many years ago when I was still making contact poi myself. And one of the things that I noticed was that the batch of rope that I had gotten from LanternSmith to make my contact poi with, the smithy rope, was slightly bigger than the normal gauge I was used to using. I think these were like 8mm tethers, and the original ropes were like 6mm tethers. So at one point I wound up with an extra set of poi that had orange heads and handles and were slightly longer than the normal poi that I use. And what I discovered is that these were absolutely perfect for performance situations for a few reasons. Number one, because they're orange, they are super duper visible. They are super duper bright. You can see them from across the room. I could have done this with a set of white poi, but of course poi pick up so many marks as you're spinning them that I feel like white poi, when they get messed up and everything, it's really obvious and kind of distracting, whereas when other colors get messed up, it is not nearly as distracting. And of course, the thicker tethers mean that the tethers can be seen from further away too. Whenever I have a professional gig that's going to happen during the daytime, these are my go-to poi to use because they're super visible, I can do contact with them, and quite frankly, just because they're also color matched, I think that they make for a better fit than, my practice non-colored sets usually would. Cool, so next up, when I have LED poi gigs, I wind up using one of these two sets here. And let's start off with the Synoptics. So a lot of you guys out there are probably familiar with these. These are Synoptic poi from LanternSmith, and they use fiber optic tethers to pass light all the way down from the head of the poi to the handle. These are the only contact poi that you can currently buy that are LED that illuminate the entire poi. Now, these have a reputation for being slightly difficult to use because the fiber optic tether is not as flexible as rope, and it takes some getting used to. And it does take some getting used to. But there's no other set of LED contact poi out there that is going to create as good an experience for the audience. Because if you're in the dark, and that is dark enough for the LED to really stand out, then if you're using LED poi, they're using traditional rope tethers, then the tethers are just going to disappear in the dark. It's just a much more visually dynamic way of using contact poi, and quite frankly, if you're using non-programmable poi, I think that you ought to be giving the audience the best experience that you possibly can. And for my money, that is having the poi fully illuminated like this. And of course, it doesn't hurt that you can also do contact with them. Okay, so finally, we have the set of poi that never leaves the house unless there is some pretty significant money on the table. These are my minis from Light Toys and Pyroterra. I picked these up in the Czech Republic when I was visiting the Light Toys crew last year. These, of course, are programmable poi. I believe that these are the 80 pixel high ones, and you program in a variety of different graphics and everything. In a lot of cases, if you're doing corporate clients, they want to see their logo programmed into these. So interestingly enough, just because I review sets of poi, I've got a few different sets of programmable poi laying around. So why are these my go-to? A couple of reasons. Number one is that the programming interface for them on the Mac is super duper intuitive to use, and also the interface on the poi themselves is super duper easy to use. There's only one button that you use to switch modes and activate these. These are also the only set of programmable poi that I've used thus far that can also be activated via a remote, which is incredibly important Because no matter how on your game you may be about hitting the button on both poi at the exact same time to start the program off on the right foot, it's just easier to use the remote control, hit the one button on that, and it automatically syncs the two poi together. It's just super convenient. These also have something that, quite frankly, I wish literally every other poi manufacturer out there that makes programmable poi would use, and that's that they use flow cord instead of nylon cords. It blows my mind that there are so many manufacturers out there that'll make a $2,000 set of poi and stick really crap nylon tethers on them. Come on, we got a better option out there. I also have some glow-in-the-dark palms on these. These don't actually come into play very often when I'm gigging, but the reason I keep these attached is so I don't ever lose these. Because of course, when you're at a gig and it's dark, it's very, very easy to, put something down and forget where you left it and everything. And especially because the poi are so dark when they're not activated that it's really, really easy to lose them beside a table or something like that. The handles make sure that there's always that little glowing element to tell me where I left them, and it's just really there for peace of mind. No, I can't play right now. I'm trying to make a video. I'm sorry. For all you guys watching at home, this is Theo. Can you say hello, Theo? Can you say hello to all the people on the internet? They like cats. I think they like cats more than they like poi. So these are kind of my essentials for poi right now. If somebody were to tell me that I had to get rid of all but my most essential poi, these would be the ones that I would hold on to, although I have dozens and dozens of other pairs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little peek into my personal toy chest, and if you want to pick up sets of these poi for yourself, you're in luck because I have promo codes for a lot of these different companies. Starting with LanternSmith. If you like the emoji contact poi and the Synoptics, you should head on over to LanternSmith.com and use the promo code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O. That'll get you a discount on your own sets of these. That promo code, DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O, also works over at EmazingLights.com. Finally, if you want to pick up a set of pod poi all for yourself or any other FlowToys product, you can head on over to FlowToys.com and use the promo code DrexFactor with a 3, replacing the E. So before I set you guys loose, I just want to send out a massive thank you to all of my awesome supporters on Patreon, because you guys are the ones that make these videos possible. And if you are not currently a backer but would like to become one, you should head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi, where you can sign up to support these videos and help me keep on trucking. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all next time.